that it? Kevin, pump this pump. Click this pump this pump. That it? Kevin, pump this pump. Click this pump this pump. That it? Kevin, pump this pump. Click. All right, click everybody. It's time. It is go time. Welcome to another edition of All Things Fantasy Grounds. Glad everybody could join us tonight. You will be seeing my screen. So as I bounce around to things, you will be treated to look at what I'm looking at. So we're going to start the show, and then I'll tell you who's here with us. I just wanted to give our little disclaimer, which is that the All Things Fantasy Grounds talk show is meant to teach and help, but the opinions stated by the four of us here tonight are not reflective of Smiteworks USA LLC or Fantasy Grounds itself. This is just our little thing that we're doing to try to share and help with people. My guests tonight are my co-host Leroon. We also have Furied Fate and Ensky, so I'll let each of them introduce themselves. And tonight's show is all about Discord. So Leroon, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello there, folks. I am founder Leroon for Fantasy Grounds College. I technically wasn't supposed to be here tonight. I was supposed to be in a game, but I decided to drop by and kind of crash the party. And so I'll give this over to Fury.
Hey guys, I'm Furied Fate. I am a gamer, Discord user, and I guess now I'm technically friends of Rob and Leroon, so I got to be here.
Yay! All right.
Yay
What
for
about
me, right?
yeah for you, Ensky? What about you?
Hi guys, I'm Night Sky and I work over at FGC. I run a lot of Discord games and things like that, so I'm here to show you guys how to do a little bit more of the technical stuff with Discord.
Excellent. So yes, we actually probably won't be seeing much of the Fantasy Grounds desktop this evening. I did want to show off my new little graphic here that I have on the tabletop. But we are going to be talking about Discord and how it gets used with Fantasy Grounds, but also how it can be used outside of Fantasy Grounds for the purposes of either talking about your games or getting into some chats with some other people regarding anything that you want. But our concentration, of course, is the Fantasy Grounds virtual tabletop. So let's get our list out. And before we start, I will mention that we are going to give away a prize this evening. I'll give a little preview of what that's going to be. That's going to be, I think, the second thing I ever put on the DM's Guild, which is Backgrounds, Proficiencies, Languages, and Features. This is a PDF and a Fantasy Grounds module, both, that goes over, it's basically a list of all of the backgrounds and all the information pertaining to that. So when you're building a character, rather than having to flip back and forth through all the WotC books, you can just look at this one thing and kind of get a picture of it. And I'll show what that looks like in Fantasy Grounds a little bit later. But let's go ahead and jump right in. So first, this is my favorite. Everybody knows I love this. First order of discussion is push to talk. So a lot of people don't even know there is such a thing as push to talk, but you can make it so that you have a button that you can control your mic with in Discord. This is my Discord right here, and this allows it to be where if you don't push the button, people don't hear your spouse or your mate or your dog or your children, or you're chewing your own food, or whatever the sounds might be. So we'll kind of go through and show how to set that up. Did any of you guys want to say anything about push to talk that I didn't cover?
I'm using it now.
Yeah, we're all using it. So how do we do that, Leroon? How do we you walk me through it, and I'll do what you say on my screen here.
Okay, first of all, in Fantasy Grounds, there's some settings, and one of those settings happens to affect your voice. So click on the little gear icon on the bottom left where your status is. There's a headphone and a mic icon. So on the bottom left of the screen, there you go, user settings.
User settings.
Yep. And once you open that up, it comes to a menu.
Right.
And in that menu, I would like you to click on voice and video.
Okay.
Now, as you can see, there's a bunch of different settings in here. But the main one we're going to focus on is the push-to-talk setting. If you have it set to voice activity, what that's going to do is pick up every Tom, Dick, and Harry sound that you got in the background. And so what we want you to do is click on push to talk, and then you will assign a key or a recording of a key, and you can use a key combination, but the easiest thing I think to do is use the right control button. Some people use the shift button because that doesn't get done a lot. You need to pick a key that's not a typical letter or a typical keystroke that you use during Fantasy Grounds or chatting in Discord. So whatever it may be, you would just click on the record button where it says, where Rob has the shift key, and you would click any key and it would record that keystroke. And that would be the key that you hold down while you're talking. And some of the problems that people have with that is, first of all, they forget which key it is. Second of all, they let go of the key or they don't push it down in time and give your computer a second to pick up their voice. So a lot of times it sounds cut off or broken up because you either weren't holding the button down hard enough, or you were not holding it long enough, or you're letting it go too soon, or what have you. So
Right.
those are issues.
And another thing that happens to me a lot is, since I do use the shift key, which I tried to go and change it, but it asks me to stop recording if I want to change it, so I'll have to stop the stream to change, so I can't do it. But what happens to me when I'm DMing is, since I use the shift key, I'm forever rolling crit damage on my players because I'm talking while I'm rolling damage. So if that causes you problems, you want to pick a different key that doesn't really have a function in Fantasy Grounds, but a lot of keys do. So I use my right hand for my mouse and my left hand for push to talk. So shift is just easy for me. But yeah, you can set it to anything you want. So good, excellent.
Right.
Along with that, if you use push to talk and you do not change your settings in Discord, you will get little beeps every time you push your button, every time you depress it, and also when you let it up, there'll be sounds. So how we can change that is we can go back to the same menu. So let me do that again. You go to the gear down here by your avatar in the bottom left, click on that, and then go to notifications. And then if you scroll down, and I know, Leyrun, I know you want to go through all these and talk about what they do, but the two that you definitely want to have off is PTT activate and PTT disactivate. Because you see, if I maybe you guys can't hear this, but can you guys hear that beep?
No.
Okay, well maybe I have to close the settings. But anyway, if and it wouldn't be me that hears it, it would be them. So I'll go turn those back off. But that's how you turn those annoying beeps off, so that when people go, "Why are you beeping every time you talk?" then that's what that is. So it's in notifications. You scroll down and you turn off PTT activate and PTT deactivate, which might be a little confusing because you're not deactivating or activating push to talk. All you're doing is turning on or off the sound it makes when you press your key. But Leyrun, I know you wanted to go through all these and talk about what they do. Did you not?
Well, not necessarily, but if you look at those, each one of those corresponds to basically giving you a heads up or a audio cue. So if you're messaging and you get a message, your Discord will beep at you and let you know you have a message. So turn those on and off accordingly to your user taste. The only thing I want to know, if someone's disconnecting from my voice chat, or like the two that you have, like the user's been moved or something like that, I don't really want to hear that ring every time somebody farts or does something on the server. So that's why we check and uncheck some of those settings. So play around with those and get a comfortable mix for you and utilize that as your communication default, because eventually this Discord server will get a little less unannoying and you'll be a lot more pleasant to speak to.
Right. All right, fantastic. That was the list. We went over the list. Oh, here, I'll shade these as we go, so we know that we covered everything. So the next thing on the list, and by the way, John and Fury, if you want to jump in anytime, go for it. Just interrupt me. Headphones. Obviously, you want to use headphones when you're using Discord, because if you don't, that means you're probably not on push to talk, and even if you are, so much background noise and your fan or your whatever air conditioner or whatever else is in the background, you don't want to subject other people to that. But there is a known issue with Discord. Sometimes if you're using a wireless headset or anything that uses a USB plug, you must plug that headset in before you open Discord. And Leron, do you want to talk a little bit about that, what you told me?
Sure. When I first started using Discord, I had no idea that that was an issue. So as I was trying to run a game or communicate with my players, I was having all kinds of sound issues and I could never figure out why. And the main reason is when you're on Discord and then all of a sudden you go, "Oh crap, I want to talk to somebody," and you plug your jack into your computer, you're basically taking the risk, especially if you're using Windows 10, that you're going to break the audio stream, and that will not allow you to either hear or speak, one or the other or both. So technically, if that happens, if you just realize after the fact, you need to fully shut down Discord and restart, and that should fix that audio break in the an audio stream. And so basically, without getting into too many technical details about that, just have your headset plugged in before you start Discord. And if Discord is already running in the background, go ahead and reboot it and then try to go in and talk. Because that's usually what it is. Not always, but usually.
And
Yeah,
that's a good segue for our next topic, which is how to actually close Discord fully.
yeah, great point. A lot of people don't realize that if you go up here in Discord, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to hang up on everybody. But if you click the X like you do in most Windows software or most any operating system software, you click the X, um, it will close the Discord window, but Discord will not be closed. It will still be in your taskbar. So mine looks like this. It says Discord there when I highlight it. So when you close Discord, you actually have to also come down here, right click on that thing that's in your taskbar and choose Quit Discord. Then Discord will close all the way. If you don't, even though you're using the X, which most people uh, most people consider the X to be, hey, I'm exiting this application and I'm done with it. And in the case of Discord, it's little more than actually just minimizing it. It's pretty much does the same thing. It's not gone, and so you actually have to come in there and actually get rid of it. And most times when you have a problem with sound in Discord, closing it and reopening it, I would say 90% of the time fixes whatever's wrong. And it's very rare that you actually have to reboot your machine and clear up any other problems you might have.
True. Also, if you go into your user settings, underneath the Windows settings, you can actually toggle the little button that says on the close button. Instead of minimize to tray, you can actually fully close and back out the whole application.
Oh, very good. I didn't even know that. So if I change this, then now when I close it, it will close it.
Right.
Correct.
Ah, very good. Excellent. I love it. All right. Let's see. We talked about that. So next up is volume control for individual people. So let's pop into Stooner's because I know there's people in there, just as an example. So Lazy Stooner, some of you guys know him. This is just another server that I have. I have these servers on my personal Discord, so you might have all kinds of different ones on yours, but hopefully at least this one, and of course this one. Anyway, so if I right-click on anyone's name that's in a chat, then you'll see that the user volume's here. So if someone in particular is very loud, or if someone is perhaps not loud enough, or even if someone is using, like I do sometimes, use sound, and the sound effects might be either too soft or too loud, you can come in here and you can control each person's, you can take them all the way down to 0 or go all the way up to 200% to change their volume. And the coolest thing about that is that you can do that on each individual different person. So, it's not like an all or one volume. You can control everybody that's in the chat or that's in the channel. So, do you guys want to say anything else about that?
I love you, man.
Hey, Steel
Yeah,
Bear, thanks
sort
for the
of.
follow, or thanks for the sub, man. I appreciate that. Go ahead.
In a voice chat, this is kind of related to that, and that would be, can you show us the disconnect button from it looks like a telephone. If you look down below, you don't want to click it, but when you're done with a chat, or you're in a chat room, or you're doing a live chat, when you're completely done, you click that disconnect button, and that will break the audio stream so that we're not hearing you and your wife have dinner 2 hours later.
That's right.
And I've heard other strange things. Let's put it that way. So if you have an open hot mic and you leave that open, and especially if you didn't use push to talk, we're going to hear everything. So just let you know that.
Right. So that's how you kind of hang up. That's what that is hanging up. And then the other ones down here, now that we're looking at this, that's mute your mic. So if you click on it, it'll mute your mic. If you click on this, it will mute your headphones. And so if, for example, you muted your headphones, you would still be able to talk and people could hear you, but you couldn't hear them because your headphones are off. So those are just the two individual controls. Most applications where you do anything like Skype or Google Hangouts or whatever, most people know how those work, but those are all right there. But yeah, this is the one that basically takes you out. If I were to click that right now, I would basically hang up on the three people I'm talking to, and all hell would break loose, and it would be very bad.
All right.
Right click to PM a name. Who wants to talk about that?
Anybody?
All right, I'll do it. So if you want to message somebody, you can search for them and message them. There's a lot of hard ways to do it, but if you say I wanted to message Lazy Stooner, well, he's not even in there. Jimmy's in there. I would just right click on his name, and gives you a lot of options when you right click on a person's name. So one of them is to send a message to him. I can now type a message. It'll go directly to him only. If I go back over there to where I found him and I right click, I can also choose mention, which means it will put his name or his Discord name down in the chat here so that I can continue typing. So it's just a faster way to not have to search for a person's name. That's what the mention does. And I think that's it. That's just a really quick, you can do that from anywhere you see a person's name. You can, there's Gwydion, I can do all that too. You can bring up a person's profile and you can block them. Let's block Gwydion, that'll be fun. No. But yeah, you can, how we, the four of us that are talking now, how we did that is one of us called each other. And so we're in a kind of a separate call chat room that looks like this. And there's the four of us there. And there's Leroon, there's Fury, there's Ensky, and then my screen, instead of my logo, is my screen, because I'm sure they're seeing what I'm seeing, which is what's on the stream. And you can share screen in here too. You know what? We might as well show how to do that. If you want to share your screen with somebody, you just establish a call with them, and right here,
you have to be friends.
You have to be friends on Discord. So if it doesn't work, you just have to go accept a person's friend request, and you can click on the share screen here, and it will open up a thing that looks like this. So if you just want to share everything, you just click the window in the middle till it highlights like that, and then click share. But you can also go up here to application window, and you can just share like my voice meter or just share Fantasy Grounds, whatever it might be. You can do that individually. But what I have now is I have my entire screen shared, so everybody sees everything I'm doing right now. So that's that. Have there been any questions in chat?
I haven't seen any.
All right. If you guys have questions, go ahead and put them in. But Fury, why don't you talk about the mobile app that you love?
I do love that. And that's kind of a Discord, I guess, nice little perk feature is that, they have a free mobile app that you can download, and you can connect to the servers and your channels from anywhere. And that also includes voice. So not only are you keeping up with all the text and, any postings about, oh, hey, game's going to be running late or we're canceled or, hey, I'm, not home yet or I'm on my way home. So that way, everyone's like, oh, where are you? We're waiting for you at the table. Um, but yeah, the mobile app is pretty good that way. And not to mention, we've had a few players who've had issues with headsets breaking, cords getting chewed through. So you have your phone there, and the phone even allows you to do, I believe it does push to talk too. Or
Yeah.
you just have to push to turn the mic on and off and everything. Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I mean,
yeah, it's great, especially as a backup. And I've had to use that over the last year and a half or so. I've had to use my iPhone a couple of times when my headset just crapped out totally, or whatever the case might be. So it's available for iOS. It's available for um,
Android.
Android. Thank you. I was like, what's the one I don't use? So you see, I just went to the website, so you can find the app. And by the way, I think we maybe should have done this to start, but if you search for Discord, yeah, this maybe should have been the first thing we did. If you search for Discord in Google, it'll take you right to their discordapp.com is their website, and you can either open it in the browser, which is not suggested, by the way. And if you do that, they'll try to force you to download it and use the application anyway. But that's what you want to do, is you want to download the application for whichever. Mine defaults to Windows because I use Windows, but that's where you would default it. And if you don't have to memorize that. For those of you that are watching that might be new, or if you're watching on YouTube and you don't even know what Discord is, I apologize for not bringing that up earlier. But yeah, just type Discord directly into Google, and it'll basically be the first thing you find.
So there's a desktop version, and then there's a mobile app, and then there's a browser version.
Right. And the browser version is a little harder to use, only because everything on a phone is harder than it is on a PC, but it's really great. And the browser version, in my personal opinion, is to not even use that. You can, like, what happens if I open Discord here?
Well, with the browser one, as soon as you click off on another window, say you're playing a game or something like that, your mic will instantly cut out, because on the
That's right.
browser, you have to stay selected on the browser in order to talk.
Yeah, and so it'll defocus, as it were, your voice. So you definitely want to download the app and use that, which is what we're using here, is the application. And it's pretty good. It's not a memory hog, it's not a resource hog. It's a very, very well constructed program, which is why we recommend it.
Cool.
Okay, what else do we got? Mobile app, we did that. Oh, mute channels. I know, Liverin, you'd mentioned muting channels, and that's the thing where when you first get Discord, you guys, if you're not a seasoned Discord user, you're gonna sign up for all these servers, and you're just gonna get banged with messages like every few minutes. But you can shut those off. So, like, for example, if I go to Fantasy Grounds College here, I have the server muted. You see that I have it muted, and what that means is that I won't be notified about anything that's posted on that server unless it has my name in it. Unless somebody says, "Hey, Rob Toohey, what's up, and can you answer this question?" Or, like, right here. Here it is. Owain said, "I want your playlist," right before the show. He said that. And so I got that message, and you see that it's got a little yellow bar here. I'm the only one that sees that yellow bar, because it'll put like a little red 1 there, and that's what appeared here earlier. And then I came over here, and the messages were like way up here, and so I scroll down. Oh, and I see a little yellow bar, and that lets me know that my name's mentioned there. And then he said I want to, and then I said I can share it with you if you have iTunes, which I totally spelled wrong because I was in a super big hurry. But anyway, anything else, you guys, about muting the server? I know there's nuances to that, but I covered the basics of it.
Right. And so another thing is your etiquette. So when you're using Discord, and I don't really have room to talk, I'm probably the worst one in my server. But try not to use, once you learn how to address someone individually, or you can address people as a group, try to use the group one sparingly. Like, I'm getting a little bit better, but I used to use @everyone. And basically that pings everybody that you're friends with, no matter where they're at on Discord. And so I would reserve that for an emergency or something major, like a big announcement, like Rob Tui joining Smiteworks or something like
What?
that.
When was that? Do I? Oh my god, I got a meeting tomorrow. All right, everybody calm down. Everybody just relax.
Well, speaking about that, how you can do the add and mentions everything. So when you're on Discord, on the top right there's a little @ symbol, the mention symbol, and you can actually change, or you can actually see, from all the servers or certain servers, every time you were mentioned, and you can even do it either display direct. You can include the everyone mentions or role mentions. So you can kind of filter through just in case you miss something. If you're getting like a whole crap ton of alerts, if you're on 20 different servers and everyone's using @everyone, and
I'm going to tell you, Fury, that I had absolutely no fucking idea that this existed. I love it. Thank you very much. I had no idea.
Well,
I've been
because,
using Discord. I've been using Discord for like a year and a half, and I had no idea that was there.
don't worry, I just figured this out like a month ago myself. But yeah, like Larry was saying, he's very @everyone spammy. So I
Yeah.
got tired of it, and I just wanted to see, what specific groups I'm into, and make sure I'm not missing, important updates.
Yeah, so every time I was mentioned, whether it was me by a name or like here I'm a DM on FGC, so I got mentioned there, or everyone. Geo uses everyone a lot, so yeah, that's awesome. So I don't have to go. Normally, my method of operandus, or my modus operandi, I don't know, I don't speak Latin, everybody, was to just wait for red ones to pop up and then real quick go see who said something about me, whatever. Every stream on Twitch is a giveaway. He said that in our private chat. But yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for saying that. So mentions, everybody, go up here, click the @ and anytime you were mentioned on any server that you are on, you will show up there. So and you can just scroll through and make sure you've seen all those messages. That's really cool. Wonder what the hell this
Okay,
question mark does. Oh, help.
Dad has some good questions here. He has, how do you set up roles for users to have on your Discord? And then also, how can you globally disable the @everyone notifications?
Excellent. I'll handle the first one while someone thinks about the answer to the second one, which I know, but I can't think of off the top of my head. So how you set up rules is you come over to your server. So the one with my logo down here is my server. Everybody else that's here, these are just all servers that I'm connected to, but I only have control over mine, which is this one. So you right click and you're going to get a menu, and there's a lot of different options, and we could have a show on Discord that lasts like 4 hours, but we're going to mainly just do the basic stuff. But that is a good question. Server settings, and then you go down to roles, and here's roles right here. You click on that. It's going to open a menu. So I have a lot of roles. I have when you open this, when you first get Discord, I think you'll probably have owner and everyone, and those are the only 2 roles that you'll have. So I've set up all these different roles, and a lot of these gray ones down here, these are bots, so I didn't do these. It's when you have a bot, which is a whole nother subject, brought into your channel, stuff that does automatic messages and all that kind of stuff. They all have roles that they'll get assigned automatically, but all these colored ones are ones that I made. So I have ones for patrons, which is a lot of them, and then I have a DM role, an admin role, and then ones for my games, TYP, TOA, and Battle Royale. Denver and Dragons is a private chat for the people that literally went to Denver that we played. So I made a chat room for them, and the only people that can get in that chat are Denver and Dragons people. So let's just make a role here. Let's add a new one just to show the answer to the question. Which, oh yeah, right up here, plus sign. Maybe. Did I? Oh, I'll bet you I added 16 new ones down. Yes, I did. Okay. So so that's a good thing to know. When you click on the plus sign, it is going to add a new role at the bottom of the list. But if you can't see the bottom of the list, then that's what you're going to get. So I actually added 2. So now if I click on that, I can go over here and I can name it. So I'm going to name it test role. and you can pick your color off the list. You can open up the color palette and pick a color, whatever you want. We'll just pick this green one here. And then we're not really going to get into this, but you're going to go down all of these different things, and you're going to check whether it's true or not, or whether it applies to the role that you've just assigned. So if you want somebody to be an administrator, you click that. Most roles that you assign are going to have at least two things, and that's going to be that they can send messages, which is already checked. You can read text channels and see voice channels, which is checked, and that you can read message history, which is checked. And what that means is you would think that would be automatic, but sometimes if it's unchecked, people can send messages, but they can't read the messages that are already there, which is dumb. I don't know why that's not just an automatic thing, but it is there. But then there's all these other different ones. And if I miss anything important, or if you guys have something that we should cover here, just jump in and let me know. But I think that's basically how you add a role. And then when you want to assign that role to somebody, you just right-click their name and add the role. I'll show you an example of that.
I had a comment about
Sure,
that.
go ahead.
Scroll back up, please. Save your changes and scroll up. So if you're an admin or a moderator, you can set this role up to where the people that are assigned that role cannot do the @everyone mention. So if you go all the way to the top, see where it says allow anyone to @mention this role. So that will dissuade or add or take away that ability. So if you leave that off, it will not allow that person to @mention the particular role that you're setting up.
Right.
You
So if
understand?
for example, if I go here and I type in chat @Denver and Dragons, everybody meet at 6 o'clock in here, everybody will see that belongs to that group, and then they'll come meet me. Whereas if I say don't allow to mention it, then I can't even do that. I can't type @Denver and Dragons. It won't allow me to use that role.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let me. I'm gonna delete that in a second, but I'll go over here and let's say I want to make Ensky a person who has that role. So I can right click on his name and then choose roles, and it'll list all your roles here, and he'll have a check mark for every one that he belongs to, which at this time is nothing. So I would give him, whoops, hello, I went off the thing. I would give him test role there. So now Ensky is the only one. Now here's a cool thing that just kind of hooks in with this. If you go over again to your server here on the left, right click it, choose server settings and go to members. You can see that I have 297 members, but I can go over here to where it says display role. I can click on test role, and we see that Ensky is the only one in that role. If I went to, say for example,
#first.
that's right, admins. These are all my admins. And again, if they have any other roles, they'll pop up there. So I can go and I can see if I want to know who my diamond patrons are. It's kind of cool. You just can see who everything is like that. So that's basically how that works. Anything else on that, guys?
No, that's pretty good. We don't want to get too deep into the admin stuff.
Yeah, we don't want to get, because like I said, we could do a 5-hour show on Discord, but this, I'm trying to give people the basics, and I'm gonna real quick go erase that role. I don't want it. I'm gonna nerf Ensky in the face.
I did have the answer to his second question though.
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah, absolutely, go for it.
So he asked, how do you suppress the @everyone to make it to where you don't get, so if somebody says @everyone, you don't get that notification. So all you
Right.
got to do is on that server, so you would right click on whatever server you want, and you'd go to notification settings. You scroll down a little bit and it says suppress @everyone and @here's. So if you suppress them anytime they use that, you won't get notified from that specific server.
Right, and that's a lot of people do that so that they, what that will do is that will suppress everyone and here, but if they use your name specifically, you will get a notification. So if somebody really needs to say something that they want your attention for, you'll still be notified. But if they're doing @everyone and @here, you won't. And they're, depending on your personal tastes, you may have you may want to suppress that on certain servers. Like, for example, I do that on FGC because there's 1,500 people in there and it goes off every 5 seconds. So which is awesome. But I don't need to hear it unless they're looking for, they want to talk to me.
Right, and if you're assigned to a role and someone says at everyone in this role, you're going to get the ping as well.
Right. So Shadzar's question, how do you link your Twitch to Discord so you can have your subscriber-only channels? How do you link your... I can't. That's blowing up my brain. I can't. Shad always is the guy that tries to test me. How do you link your Twitch? If anybody knows the answer to this, I'm just reading it 5 times in a row and I still don't get it. How do you link your Twitch to Discord so you can have subscriber-only channels?
Good question.
I don't, that I know of, I don't think you can link your Twitch. You can make, or can you? Ansky, do you know different?
So I personally don't have a Twitch, but I do know there's a connections tab under the cog in the bottom right, bottom right of your screen. There's a cog connections, and you can connect certain accounts. But I don't have a Twitch, so I don't know specifically what it does.
Yeah, so my connections show streamer mode enabled because I'm streaming right now. Normally there would be a screen there. You can connect, a bunch of different things, including Twitch there, but that doesn't do what Shad's looking for. And I think I was going to bounce over to Schmo's server, try and say that 5 times fast, because
if you click on it, it does say obtain. It'll get a list of all your subscribers to your Twitch channel. So
really,
it might list specific users, Twitch followers, and such like that.
Hey, Steelbeard, thanks for the follow.
I'm doing it right now, and that's what it's telling me.
So you can do that, huh? I wonder if I try to nerf, if I just nerf stream mode. Whoops, that's not it. What was it again?
Oh.
It was...
So the cog in the bottom right, and then it'll, and then you'll go to connections.
Right, so it's not going to stop the stream.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so... Go
to connections.
I went to... Oh, here we go. See what happens? It boots me down to streamer mode. Well, here, let me disable that. Okay, now let me try it. There we go. Okay, here we go.
Yep.
So yeah, so I have it connected to my Twitch, my Steam, my YouTube, my whatever the hell all this is, Twitter, everything. Just I have it, Facebook, everything. So, but I wasn't aware that you got to somehow connect your users to that.
That also allows for the notification to let us know you're streaming too.
Right. That's what that does. So if I go back and turn that back on, so up here, anybody that sees my name, they're going to see a purple dot that says streaming, and it's going to tell you what they're streaming. So I'm streaming all things Fantasy Grounds right now. But over here on Schmo's server, he does have, to kind of address what Shad was asking, he's got Twitch subscriber right here. But he, I believe, entered that manually. I think he set that up as a role, and then he applied that, because if we go to Stooner's roles here, yeah, see, he's linked as a Twitch subscriber, so he just did that manually. So I guess the answer to your question, Chad, is that you can do that, but you have to do it manually. That I know of, after almost 2 years, I don't know that there's a way that gets done automatically. If anybody finds out different, please let me know.
It might be a bot out there that we don't know about.
Yeah, that could be as well. And there are many. That's a whole completely separate point of conversation, is bots. But there are many bots that do a multitude of different things. And as you can see on my channel, I've got like 9 of them. Right. And some of them make announcements. Some of them, do stuff with your stream. And there's all different kinds of stuff. That one of them's a game that's like an RPG game. But anyway, yeah. So that's there. Category for servers. I don't even remember what that means. Anyone?
Oh, that you can create categories in a server without.
Right.
It's basically an organizational tool for your server.
Right. So good example. Yeah, that is fairly new to Discord. Over here on Fantasy Grounds College Discord, there's general channels, and there they all are. In a hashtag or a pound sign, that means a chat channel, and a speaker means a voice channel. And so they have subject channels, they have classrooms, they have community items, and it goes on and on. So yeah, you can categorize your things. And see, like for example, on mine, I have a couple categories, but all of these rooms are uncategorized, and then down here I have private chats, and then I have old chats. So I just made a category. So old rooms that don't apply anymore, like we're not doing 5e pickup rules, or we're not doing battle royale anymore for a while. So I just put those down there. I didn't delete them, but I just put them down there so that I could get them later. But yeah, that's a really good thing to use, so that when people come to, like if you go to NPC Engineer, his is really simple. He's got just these. He's got information, chat, reporting, and voice. Boom, like that.
And if you can help it, stay that way.
Yeah, if you can keep it to a minimum, like we said at the beginning of the show, Discord is very intimidating and very daunting when you first connect to it. But once you use it, you'll never go back. You'll never want to use anything else. Much the same as our favorite program, Fantasy Grounds. When you first turn it on, you're like, what the hell? And then after a couple of times of using it, you're like, oh, I can't believe I've even lived my life without this, right?
Yep.
Let's give away a prize. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Few more things I wanted to mention that a lot of people forget about computing and whatnot is, and by any means, don't be offended by this, because I'm a victim and also a person who does this as well. Your Windows settings and simple things that can prevent you from communicating with any sort of communication software, and these are often forgotten. So if you go down to your volume control on your computer, make sure that that is on or not muted. So quite often I get issues with people that say, hey, I got everything set up right, and they didn't realize that it's muted. Another thing is, if you have a battery operated headset that needs to be charged, make sure it's charged. And if you're not sure, plug it in before you get on Discord. Another thing is frayed wires. Now, a lot of us are going wireless, but there are occasions where the wire connection to your headset, if you have the old 1/8 jack, that has been bent or pulled or yanked or whatever, and all the little wires for the left and right speaker are pulled. And you know what I'm talking about, the old headset day where you had wires and only one side works. Well, usually that's because the cord that connects to the actual plug-in jack, or right where it connects into your headphones, gets frayed. It gets pulled, yanked, stretched, whatever. And so if you have one of those headsets that has a cord, make sure that the lines are not busted or severed or whatever. And you won't be able to tell physically usually, because it's inside the encasement. So what I normally do is I will buy a new headset that has the 1/8 cable, and I'll use a little black tape or something, and I will tape it around the typical spots where that cord gets pulled. That way it keeps the longevity of a cheap headset, if that's the way you want to go, and it'll make it last a little bit longer. So that's just a word of advice. I also do a lot of audio engineering, so I've struggled with audio for many years. So that's just a tip from me to you.
Cool, excellent. All right, let's give away a prize. Yeah, you can go ahead. Go ahead, Ensky.
So I was gonna so there's two things still. Setting up a headset in Discord, because I've run into a lot of this with my games, is people don't have their input set to the mic of their headset and their output set to the headphones of their headset. You got to make sure you have both of those for it to work. And then also, if you have any other program running in administration mode, Discord will not be able to use push to talk unless Discord is running in administration mode as well.
Ooh, that's a very good tip.
Yep. And so
okay.
It loses focus is what happens.
But you can have Discord start in administration mode every time just by right-clicking on it and going to properties and setting it for compatibility and run in admin mode all the time.
Right. So like I I have Discord here in my Windows startup. If I go here, right click it, go to wherever, I can either run it in administration mode that way, or I can go to wherever the file location is, click on that, right click on it, sorry, go to properties and choose
Run as
Compatibility.
admin.
compatibility. Thank you. Run this program in, where is it? In administrator mode. Oh, I should change that.
Compatibility?
So that anytime Discord starts, it will always run as an admin mode, and it will be able to be used in any other game run as an admin mode, which is a lot of your older games or some of your more non-Steamish type games.
Okay.
Right. All right,
Um,
so let me get the raffle going for the prize, and then we can continue our conversation. I'll put a 5-minute timer on it. But again, this prize that I'm giving away is the D&D 5e background proficiencies, language, and features. And all it is, this is the Fantasy Grounds version. There's also a PDF version of it, which I could bring up and show, I guess. But it lists all the backgrounds, and then what are the skill proficiencies, tool proficiencies, language features, and what source it comes from. And this is just a quick character making guide so that you don't have to flip back and forth between all the WotC books looking up, oh my god, what's the best background? What should I take for this? I really would like to have, insight in religion, or, all that kind of. So it's just a quick guide. And I will start the raffle. All you have to do is type in the chat the keyword, which is exclamation background. And if you have this already, don't enter the contest because you've already got it. But if you don't have it, by all means, type in exclamation background, and we'll let that timer run for 5 minutes. And then when we get everybody in, we'll draw a winner. So, Ensky, you were going to say something else. Go ahead. I'm sorry I cut you off there.
Oh, the other thing is, so just making sure that on their user settings and they go to voice and video, just making sure their input and output device are set to their headset, because when you first install a headset on Discord for the first time, it won't automatically switch them most of the time. Because I've had people like, I can't hear you, but I could talk, and it's just those little things, and you can also adjust volumes and stuff like that.
Great. Here's the PDF version, by the way, you guys. So it's the PDF looks like this, and it's the same list. Also, there is another version of it that is just like a kind of a Google Sheet looking thing. Again, same information. It's just a quick one sheet. If you wanted to print that out, you could for your character making. So it's the two different PDFs and the Fantasy Grounds version. They're all the same information, and you guys can get those if you win the prize. Did we cover everything on the list? I think we did.
We did, but I do have another question. Is there a fee to create a server
No.
on Discord?
No, Discord is absolutely free to use. There is a fee service for Discord if you want to use it. So it's called Discord Turbo, and no, sorry, Nitro. What did I say? Turbo? Yeah. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I do have that actually. Where I can find it, I don't know. I think if you sign up for it, it just changes you, but I'm not sure where. Yeah, don't click delete server. That's bad. Sure. I'm
I
sure.
mean, I see the Discord Nitro when I do user settings, the little gear cog thing.
Oh,
It does
there we
pop
go.
up for me.
don't do that.
There it is. Okay, so Discord Nitro. And I'm sure, unfortunately, a lot of the stuff I can't see unless I exit streamer mode. But anyway, Discord Nitro is
Oh, here, I'll do my thing.
it's $50 a month, and most people don't use it.
$5 a month, $50 a year.
Yeah, so if you want to go see what it does, you can go to Google, type in Discord Nitro, and it'll take you here, and it'll go through what you can do with it. It's
Actually, I have it on my screen right now. If you can pull up the thing and show my screen.
Okay.
There you go.
Ooh. Okay. So here it says support Discord development. Tells you how much it is, and there's a fun little video with a little animated pig. You can choose your Discord tag. You can animated avatar, higher quality screen share, custom emojis everywhere, which I've seen on a few other servers, animated emoji, boosted upload limit, rep your Discord support, blah blah blah.
Thank you, Husky. I couldn't figure out how to get your screen big, and it turns out the the quite complicated process for that is to double click on it.
Okay.
So
Oh my god.
yeah,
Okay, so yeah, this is the whole the nitro thing. There's a little
cool. And I'll show you an example of the animated logo. So in my stream, my logo spins like no one else's does. So for $50 a year, you can spin your logo, but you can do all that other stuff she just said.
Woo!
Yeah. So because a lot of people go, how do you? Oh, and here McClancy has his is animated too, his dragon head, and there's a few other people that do it. But you're able to do all that other stuff, and so it's pretty neat. But it's just a matter of how much you're using Discord. Do you use it daily? What do you use it for? And so I do obviously a lot of stuff. So I got the Nitro, but it's not necessary to get.
Right. So I had a couple any questions out in the stream, and then I want to ask each one of you like where we can find you guys or get a hold of you or whatnot.
All right, cool. Yeah. What, did you say there is more questions in the stream?
I'm asking right now. It looks like we're about ready to draw. So if you haven't entered already, it's the exclamation and then
Background. Yep. You got 5 seconds. Well, the stream is delayed, but from the time of my voice. Okay. So we do have all the people that are entered, and so I will go ahead here and draw a winner. And that winner is Recon 108. Congrats.
Nice.
So Recon 108, just PM me in Discord. If you are not a member on my Discord, first of all, how dare you? And second of all, I will give you the link so you can PM me there.
Rob Fair asked how your birthday was.
Oh, my birthday was excellent. I took myself out to a free steak dinner at this restaurant in town that does it on your birthday, and then I went and saw the Jason Bateman movie, so it was super exciting.
Nice.
So
that game night movie?
it was completely hilarious. It was like really, really funny. I loved it. So yeah, Recon, just click on the Discord link, get in my Discord and PM me, and just give me your DMs Guild email, and I will make sure and send you that prize. If you do not happen to be on DMs Guild, just sign up. It's free. And then make sure you give me the email that you used and PM me, and I'll get you that gift. So congrats on that. What else, everybody? Oh, Leroy, you said you wanted to have us say something.
Oh yeah. So if you missed most of the show or half of the show, or you only saw the very end, where can people find that? I mean, how does one go about looking for Rob 2E archives or even anything else for that matter for Twitch?
Yeah, so Twitch, all the videos I do are on Twitch, but they're only able to be accessed if you're a subscriber. Now, I don't suggest people subscribe to me just to watch the videos, because the reason I do that is not to make money or anything like that. It's to encourage you to watch it on YouTube instead. So I archive everything I do on YouTube. I'll put the link in the chat. And not only that, I also can put this other link. I'm trying to get subscribers. For those of you that don't know the story about YouTube, is they're trying to nerf the little guy. They're trying to not shut down people, but they're basically not offering monetization to anybody unless they have 1,000 followers. And I have like 575 or something like that. So there is also a contest I'm running, and everyone's eligible to do this. If you're already a subscriber on my YouTube, you are still eligible to do this. And that is, if you want to win the hard copy of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, you can click on that link and go to the contest page, and there's only one way to enter, and that's to subscribe to me on YouTube. And so, like I said, if you're already a subscriber, you can still enter the contest. Just click on the appropriate links. And I see there's some people doing it now. That's awesome. So I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, but all the videos, all these shows that we're doing, all of my previous games, anything I've ever done in Fantasy Grounds, almost 100% of anything I ever do in Fantasy Grounds is on YouTube. The only exception to that is if I create modules. I usually do those live and then I don't save them. because it's not something that really anybody would want to see, because I'm not teaching anything. I'm just like constructing modules or building modules. So if you're not there to see that at that time, there's really no sense in watching it later, because you're not going to really learn anything, because I'm all over the place and I don't do it with any certain structure or anything like that. But if I'm on Twitch live doing it, which I do on Mondays, come on by, and if you have questions, I'll be certainly happy to answer.
And we do also make playlists for our streaming allies. So if you guys are already in Fantasy Grounds College YouTube, we also have playlists there that has a lot of Rob's videos. So I would prefer you subscribe to Rob, but if you need to watch them, we have them archived as well. So also, Fury, where can we find you when we need you to game or whatnot? How do we get a hold of you?
Well, I'm on Discord, or you could just search Furied Fate. You'd be surprised how many things pop up for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Twitter. I have occasional Twitch. Sometimes I will stream something like in the dead of the night when nobody else is on.
I've watched Sims. I've watched The Sims for sure. Ensky, what about you, bud? I haven't heard from you in a while. You got anything going on, or can we get a hold of you if we need
Usually,
to? Or
you can find me in the Fantasy Grounds College, or just private message me. Lately, just been working on Murder Hobos and some of the things for the fall break or
nice,
spring break.
cool. So yeah, if you guys don't know that already, we're having a spring break in FGC, and I'm trying to put together a super crew, and I'm trying to coax Rob into running some one shots.
What?
So if you guys, yeah. So I was hoping we could do one stream during the spring break with Rob and a guest group, and we'll see how that works.
Cool. I would like to mention not next week's, the show day after tomorrow, Tuesday show, is going to be all about the DMs Guild. So, but as it pertains to Fantasy Grounds. So most of you know that I have 66 items on the DMs Guild, and 65 of those items have Fantasy Grounds components. There's only one that doesn't. And so I make a lot of modules. I convert a lot of modules. So I'm going to go through how that gets done. I'm not going to actually, build module building is a whole different thing, but I'm going to show you what I do for the DMs Guild, how I upload a file. So if anybody's interested and you guys want to, maybe you're not ready to do that yet, but maybe in the future you'll want to do it. I'm gonna talk all about how that works, what you get paid, and how you sell stuff, and we're gonna just do anything about the DMs Guild as it pertains to Fantasy Grounds. So bring your questions on Tuesday night. And Leroon and I will be here, possibly with another person, to do that show.
Yeah, so if any of you are interested in publishing your own modules or your own PDFs, and you're really serious about it, get a hold of us in FGC, and we'll get you on the show. And that way you'll be part of that process, and you'll get to learn and be in the front seat of that. So anything else, Fury or Ensky?
Not off the top of my head.
Well, that's not a fair question for me because I don't have hair up there anymore.
I think we kind of covered a lot, and I even learned a few things. So I feel like we did a pretty good show right now.
Hey, Torsion, thanks for the
hopefully
follow.
This is really useful. I think it is. Even though it's not technically Fantasy Grounds, it's an integral part of it right now.
Yeah, I think most people, well, most meaning 51% or more, I'll say, that play Fantasy Grounds over the internet do use Discord now for their voice, for their voice. I mean, there's still a lot of TeamSpeak people. There's still a lot of Skype and Google Hangouts and stuff. Skype is a huge memory hog. It even says, I think, on that Discord page, it even says, the first thing it says is ditch Skype and TeamSpeak right there. It's time to ditch Skype and TeamSpeak. Yeah, because Discord it's just superior. I mean, it's the same thing we say, we can't help saying about Roll20. Fantasy Grounds is just superior. That's all there is to it. And as far as Discord's concerned, it's just superior to Skype and TeamSpeak. Skype is kind of cool, but it'll just suck your memory down hard. Like, I don't understand how they haven't fixed that, but If you're running anything besides Skype, you won't be able to do it very well because Skype just takes your whole CPU.
Right. And Google Hangouts is okay provided that all of your users use Google as their main client. And
right, and that everybody has a
understand.
Gmail. You can't get in there without a Gmail account and all this other stuff. Yeah. So, all right, I think that's it, guys. Any final words?
No.
Ferret says, I'm superior. Thank you so much. All right, well, I'd like to thank Furied Fate and Ensky for coming to tonight's show. And I'd like to thank my co-host Leroon for being here, even though he wasn't able to go to his event. His event got canceled tonight. And I'd like to thank all of the watchers, all of the people watching, all of our viewers and our fans. If you have ideas for shows that you want to see as it pertains to Fantasy Grounds or things adjacent to Fantasy Grounds for gaming and doing what we all like to do, please get a hold of us and let us know, and we'll try to accommodate you. If you're watching on YouTube after the fact, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much. And we will be back on Tuesday night, which is just a mere couple of days for our next show. And thanks a lot, guys. Good show.
Bye.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
See ya.
All right, so for the stream, I have hung up, as you saw. I hung up on them just like that with the thing that we told you how to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shut the the stream down. Congratulations again to Recon, who won the raffle, and we'll get his prize out to him. And we'll be back, guys, on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and our show will be all about DM's Guild. I'm going to go ahead and post in the chat the, well, first of all, let me put up the slides here real quick. There we go. So we are not going live soon. We're live now, so let me get rid of that. So yeah, we do have the Wednesday night game, Tales from the Yawning Portal, which will be here on Wednesday, doing Dead and They. Also, the Friday game, still going strong. Tomb of Annihilation on Friday nights. Also at 6 p.m. Pacific is the start time for that. We've got this show. Next show will be episode 6, which I'll have to change the slide here in a minute. Episode 6 will be about the DM's Guild, and then of course Module Creation Monday. Sometimes I stream Module Creation whenever I'm doing it. I'll just turn the stream on unannounced, but Monday for sure I will always be doing it. There's always something to do, and I never run out of work, so Mondays you can count on seeing that. And let me go ahead and post the links for you guys in the chat so that you can do all the stuff.
Ooh.